What is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. I know that making income from crypto games is a relatively new industry, but I want to take it a step further and tell you how you can make passive income that can last you a lifetime off of playing crypto games. Why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this so that you can take your profits from Crypto Blades or Axie Infinity and put it into your PayPal account or your bank account, and then put that money into your Fidelity account where you can invest into index funds. Index funds give an average of a 7% return for dividends. So if you put $100 in, you're getting $7 every single year. That may not seem like a lot, but it is a return and it's money that you wouldn't be getting if you didn't invest in index funds. So how are we going to be making this passive income? We are going to be making this passive income through index stocks. For those of you that do not know what an index stock is, it is basically a combination of a bunch of different stocks inside of one stock. So when you buy one of these stocks, you get a percentage of every single stock that is inside the index fund. For example, VU is a Vanguard index fund, which is a collection of the top 500 stocks in the United States. When you buy one share at around $400 right now, you get a small piece of each stock. On MarketWatch, you can see the breakdown of its holdings, link in the description. As you can see when looking at the top 3 stocks in VU, Apple is 6.15%, Microsoft is 5.77%, and Amazon is 3.84% of VU. At the time of this recording, that means if you would invest $1,000 in VU, you would own approximately $61.50 of Apple stock, $57.70 of Microsoft stock, and $38.40 of Amazon stock, and so on. Currently, the VU Index Fund has a dividend of $1.33 every 3 months for every share that you own. The share price is $416.80, so the dividend is 1.27 each year. But you also get the appreciation of the stock. Year to date, it's grown approximately 21.25%, which means if you put $1,000 in the beginning of the year, your stock would be worth $1,212.50 right now. What are dividends? Dividends are basically annual payments for investing into the stock. So what it is if you put money into a stock, the stock's going to pay you back with the profits that it made with your money. So let's just say you invested into the Apple stock. Now, if you want to see the dividend of a stock, just look it up on Google and go down to this section right here. This will tell you everything you will need to know about the stock, like the 52-week high, the 52-week low. All that good stuff is down here. But what we're going to be interested in right now is the dividend yield. Now, the dividend of Apple stock is 0.57%, which means for every $100 that you have into the Apple stock, you will be getting 57 cents. Now, that is not a very high dividend yield, but Apple stock isn't a dividend stock. It is a dividend stock because it has dividends, but it's not mainly focused on dividends. It is focused on the appreciation of the stock. So just focus on, if you buy the stock at $154, when you sell it, it'll be worth $160 and you'll be making that money. Now, with a stock like this, which is a really high dividend stock that has its stock all over the place, is a super unstable stock, and I'll just tell you why you wouldn't want to be investing in this type of stock in a sec. But basically, the dividend yield is about 15%. It's 14.44%. So for every $100 you put in, you'll be getting $14.50 every single year. So if you put $1,000 in, you'll be getting $144 every single year for doing nothing. But that may sound good and all, but it's really not, because if you put your money in, and then let's say you put $1,000 in, and then the price right here, like it's $123 right here, and then it drops down to $61, the price of it cut in half. It was worth half of what it was before. So your $1,000 would be worth $500, and then you made $140. So you're losing $360. So you would want to invest in a stock that's stable. Like Apple stock is a way better stock than this, even though the dividend yield is way higher, because it's super stable and the appreciation of the stock goes up. So index funds are so good because they're insanely stable. If you have 500 stocks inside of one stock, it's going to be pretty stable unless the entire market crashes, which if it does, it'll bounce back within 5 years. Because index funds almost never go down within a 5-year span, and if it like bait it's never been seen before, where an index fund goes down. A big index fund like Vanguard or S&P 500 goes down over the course of 10 years. It almost always goes up because it's a stock of the top 500 stocks, and that is why index funds are so good, and the dividends on them are good too, because they give you an annual return of about 7% every single year with the dividends. Now, companies can skip payments if their company isn't doing well. Now, this is a really rare occurrence because it affects the stock in a really bad way that they wouldn't want their stock to be affected. Because if Apple skipped their dividend payment, that means Apple's doing really bad, and then a lot of people would sell the Apple stock, and that would mean that Apple would do insanely bad, and the Apple stock would tank, and it would go really far down. So, Apple makes sure to keep up with their dividend payments like every other stock should. That's something you want to be keeping an eye on when you're buying a stock like this that's unstable. They could skip payments on you as well, and then you're losing money. You don't even have to take the money that you make from Cryptogames. You can take money that you make from your actual job. So let's just say you took 5 to 10% of what you made every single month, and you put that into index funds. Whatever works for you. It could be 2%, 3%. It doesn't really matter as long as you're investing in index funds. Let's just say you took a tiny bit of your money and you put it into an index fund. Let's say $100 every single month for the next 20 years. Alright, so let's say you didn't make your money with Cryptogames and you made your money with your normal job. Well, if you started your Fidelity account with $0 and you saved for 50 years, I'm going to have that up so you can see all the years easier. And you had a rate of return that's 70%, which is pretty average. And you put in an extra $100 every single month for 50 years, for all the years that we have up, $100 every single month, and you got quarterly interest. So if we go down here and we go to year 1, as you can see, that's $1,246 when you're only putting in $1,200. So let's just keep going. As you can see, as the years go on, you get more of a curve because of the dividends that come in. Because the more money you have in, the more dividends you get for having it in. So naturally, it's going to just keep going up. And then once you get to this point, $539,000 for only putting $60,000 in over the course of these years. Now, it might not make sense to you because you're only putting $60,000 in, but the main thing is that you're taking time, and every year you're getting your dividend payments, and that's what's really making you the money. Because if you put $60,000 in right now, you wouldn't get this money within 1 year because it's going to take time to get that 7% interest. Now, if you took out the 100 and just added $0 in and you started with $60,000, let's see how much you would get there. So when starting with $60,000, you get a lot more money than just putting in $100 every single month for 50 years. So if you're going to do that, maybe put $60,000 in. Now, I know it's more of an unlikely thing to do. You wouldn't have $60,000 lying around to put into an index fund. You would really be able to make $100 every single month to put into the index fund. Now, I do know some of you may be curious and are thinking, well, what if I put $1,000 in every single month for 50 years? Well, let's just show you now. So, if you put $1,000 in every single month, after 50 years, you'll have $5 million. Not including the fact that the index fund will rise over 50 years and probably go up by 50% over the course of 50 years. So then, your $5 million is really $7 million. Yeah. It's a lot of money. Now, realistically, people aren't going to be doing this for 50 years because people want to have their money quicker. So, let's just say you did it at 40 years right here. You'll have $2.6 million. Let's just say you took your money out at 30 years, $1.4 million. Say you took your money out at 20 years, $521,000. So, yeah. You can make a lot of money and a really big return on investment because right here, this money right here, you're only putting $600,000 in to get $5 million back. Now, I said only $600,000 and $600,000 isn't a lot of money. But I'm just saying, over the course of 50 years, if you can put the $1,000 in every single month with doing a side hustle consistently, then you'll have this money. Now, realistically, no one's going to stick with it for 50 years, but if you do, props to you, man, because that's 60 years of doing hard work. So, I mean, 50 years. Gosh, 50 years of doing hard work, and if you can stick with it, go ahead and do that. Anyway, we're going to go on to the next part of the video. The main goal in investing into these index funds is to get your money working for you. Over time, based on the history of the stock market, the money should compound without you putting any of your effort into it. It's basically a reward for investing your money into the companies. Like this chart shows here, if you reinvest your dividends, you will be making an exponentially larger amount of money than you would be if you didn't reinvest your dividends. If you look at this as a long-term investment, you should be really happy in 5 to 10 years when you look at your stock account. If you do everything right, it's possible that you could live off the dividends one day. Quit your job, and crypto gaming could be a big part of why you can sit in the sand on an island in the Caribbean, doing nothing other than enjoying the view. Thank you everyone for making it to the end of the video, and if you guys like this video, make sure you smash the like button down below. And the subscribe button told me earlier today that he likes being gray, so if you could click the subscribe button and turn it gray, and the bell right next to him, so that he could have a little friend, then he will greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want me to make any other videos on cryptocurrency, make sure you comment it down in the comment section down below. And see you guys in the next video. Bye.